Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, four crazy rescue dogs, a rescue cat, sadly no more guinea pigs, who likes to craft in her spare time, has graduated with her degree in ASL, and is trying to train for Ironman. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, it boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use that. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So grab your drink, sit on down, and let's have at it. Um, yeah. So sadly, our last guinea pig passed away. Um, Not unexpected. She was a bonded pair who we had lost her bonded pair quite actually several months ago. Um, so it was one of those we were expecting it much sooner than it happened. Still very tragic and sad. But that ends our era as guinea pig owners for the foreseeable future. Um, our foray into guinea pigs happened when we rescued a friend's hamster years ago named Einstein. When Einstein passed, we got a guinea pig. Then my daughter was doing research, found out that guinea pigs do best in they're herd animals. They don't do well as solitary animals. And in fact, in one country, it is illegal to own a single guinea pig. So we sought out a second guinea pig. We ended up rescuing one. Rescues for guinea pigs are very hard to find. They're just, you find they're considered exotic animals. Most rescues don't deal with that. So we ended up, her senior project ended up being the guinea pig rescue. At one point, we had, and they take up a huge amount of room if you're doing it right. They take up they need a lot of space. And I think at one point we were rehoming and rehousing, and at one point we counted and we had more than a dozen guinea pigs. To the point where I was buying bales of hay for them at Tractor Supply. So yes, I'm very sad that Quinn has passed. I'm very sad for Bean because, but there is a part of me that is really glad that I don't have to buy bales of hay anymore, and that I will be getting back a considerable portion of my living room area. Um, so yeah, so that happened. My mom had her knee replaced. That went well. It took much longer in the day than we were expecting, so they ended up keeping her overnight. Bina's with her now. Houdini misses her greatly. And then I came down with bronchitis. And I'm back on steroids, hence the puffiness. So excuse the puffy, and antibiotics and everything else. So it has been a whirlwind. I'm bumped out my appointment to meet with that other firm about taking on some of their work. And so I'll be doing that this week. I have court this week. All of the things. So bear with me as I cough my way through this. Ironically, as much as I have been sleeping, and I have been sleeping considerable amounts, I am doing the bare minimum to keep the house afloat and not, backslide too much. The boy child has been working. So I have laundry going. I did some dishes and things like that. I did attend the Midsummer's Night Stitch Along, and had a good time. I will admit I logged in Friday and just couldn't really get into stitching and really just was not like in a mindset where I should have been there. Like, so I didn't stay very long on Friday. I did log back in on Saturday and had a great time and got quite a bit of stitching into my one piece. With everything going on as well, it was hard to find my like to settle into projects, but I did get quite a bit done. I like pulled my pieces for today and for just now, and my stack is quite big. So, I have no haul. Um, so let's just start at the start. Start at the start. I don't know. And I'm gonna have to come up with a better flow now to my intro because yeah, life changes. So, first up was I love this fabric. If I could get more of this fabric, I absolutely would. I believe it came from Joann's a while ago, like a long time ago, but I love it. Okay, first up, this one makes my friend Kim really, really happy. She's waited years for me to start this, and as part of WhipGo for July, one of my pieces was a viewer's pick, and this piece and another piece were tied, and at first I had the printed pattern, you'll recall, and I reached out to a seller on Etsy who was selling it. Excuse me, because I went through my buying history and I couldn't find it. I'm like, look, I know I have it. I can show you the printout. So I messaged the seller who was selling it. And I was like, look, I have your pattern or one that is exactly the same. Did you used to sell it under a different name at a different site where I could have downloaded it in the shuffle of my computer moving, changing laptops and stuff? I just have my printout. If, you know, is there any way? And she was gracious enough to send me the PDF, no charge. And I love her for that. And I'm grateful because then I got to put Henrietta. This is what I call I call her Henrietta. Her name is not Henrietta. Her name is Dressed Monkey on a Throne. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I love her so much and I have no idea why. It makes me laugh and I cannot wait to get her done. And I'm debating because a friend of mine wants to buy her when I'm done. So I may actually have to have her may stitch her twice. If I stitch her twice, I'll give the bigger one to my friend and then I'll stitch her on a higher count so she's not so big. But I am stitching her on 14 count Ada because y'all know how I love Ada. And when I went back to stitching, we all stitched. I mean, that's what I learned on. That's what I stitched on. So for WhipGo, my goal is 500 stitches into Henrietta. I have stitched 430, so I need to get 70 more in to be able to cross off that half of the block on WhipGo. So we've got that green coming, the green from the wall. I don't know why this is charted in this mucky green wall. I have no idea. Like, it's like the 70s avocado greens. They're horrible. Like, there is no, this pattern is just, she's wonderful and she's horrible all rolled into one. And I just, yeah. Like, this mucky green bathroom. Like, I have no, yeah. Oops. Did not mean to do that. I have no idea how I did that. So we have officially started Henrietta. Henrietta before the end of July. We'll get at least 70 more stitches into her. Now that she's on Pattern Keeper, it's much easier. Pattern Keeper is like the best thing ever for full coverage as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Next up is my style with Stephanie. Stephanie's already finished hers. And I love her finish. She made her this beautiful banner, and it's glorious. and I'm talking about 4th of July rules from Primrose Cottage Stitches. And my goal was to basically get this house done. Did I get it all the way done? No. No. I didn't get the little door done. But then this is the part for the G for Old Glory. It will say Fly Old Glory. But I got a lot done. So my goal this week is I don't know. I would like to say that I will finish the part that says fly, like the door and the Fly Old Glory, and there's a couple little flowers, but I don't know. Maybe I'll set the goal of finish the house and the 70 stitches on Henrietta. Hold please. Okay. So I think maybe I'll work on trying to get the flag and the door done on that section, and then the 70 stitches in on Henrietta. Next up is Bougie Cat. Again, it's called the White Cat from Bed Creek. I am hosting the Sal, called the Bougie Flower Cat, or Bougie Cat, Sal, and I absolutely love him. And he is called that because I kitted him up at StitchCon on a piece of linen that was given to me. And I did a conversion so that he hopefully will look a little bit more like Houdini. And I am doing him in Forbidden Fiber Co. floss and in Almond M&M silks because Bougie Cat. So I worked a bit on Bougie Cat. He's coming along quite nicely. Don't ask me what this linen is. I have no idea. It's just some green linen that was gifted to me or I found on the brag table. Not the brag table. Yeah, I go around stealing linen off the brag table. No, on the freebie table. But I'm sure it was gifted to me. So my goal had been to finish this section and this flower. Clearly I did that, and I started to do the next section of white. So my hope is this week is to finish up until the next flower here, all the way down. Is he perfect? Does he follow the pattern? No, because we all know that Kelly finds counting hard. Kelly went to law school, not med school, because counting is hard. Okay. Next up, I worked on the I Love Pickle Sal. I loaded this up into Pattern Keeper, but it's not right. I don't know how else to say it. It doesn't load up right. It is actually Harvest Season's cucumbers from Alforce. Hang on, let me grab a cough drop. I had Sue at Keepsakes do a conversion to kind of brighten it up and make it more cucumbery. Is that a word? Cucumbery. Welcome to my flosstube, where we make up words that don't really exist, and that's why they're made up. And we all act like that's totally normal to do. So, my goal was to at least get the part of the pickle jar in. I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count linen from Color and Cotton called Over the Moon. This was not the fabric I picked at StitchCon to buy it, and I bought. This is different because when I started stitching on that other fabric, the colors were just like, it was just not working. So I got a little bit more of this vine that goes up. Obviously, I got the jar in and 2 pickles. I love it. I love it. We are hoping that this is done for Christmas. Dare to dream, girls. Dare to dream. And guys. Dare to dream. I did not work anymore on He tends his flock. So my goal is to work on both of those this week. My pile of ever-growing things. Let me try a drink of. It's been rough. I have been sleeping so much. That is why I did not get to the post office. I know. Or anything else. Okay. In this lovely bag, I love this piece. I love this piece so much. Is my traditional, what is it? Quaker traditional FT. It is done, I'm using Bradley's Balloons. Is my thread from Threadworks. I love it. Love it. This is a Christmas gift from my friend Emily. You guys have often heard me. So the pickle sampler is going to my friend Jasmine for Christmas. He tends his flack is going to my mentor Joyce. I'm trying to think what else I've showed you already that I don't think I'm keeping any of them because I think Henrietta is going to go to my friend Reagan. Yeah. One day I'll stitch something for myself. Actually, I have several pieces for myself. I shouldn't say that. So I went gangbusters on this last week. I love this stitch. I absolutely love it. My goal had been just to, I don't even remember what my goal was, but it was just to do a little section. What I'm trying to do is break it down into bite-sized chunks every week to do some and to not get overwhelmed, because sometimes what happens is I look at a huge project or a bigger project, and this one's not huge compared to a lot of my other pieces. I get that. But I get overwhelmed. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have all these projects I want to get done for Christmas. And I end up kind of freezing and not getting anything done. So I find that if I give myself smaller bite-sized chunks, it works. Like really, 70 stitches on Henrietta. That's my only goal. If I stitch more than that, that's great. But it's 70 stitches. And that puts me 70 stitches closer to getting her done. And God knows, Henrietta is, just so we have count, is 3,300 stitches. 33,000, I'm sorry, 33,000 stitches here. So we're just over 1% on Henrietta. Okay, that's great. There's no deadline unless I've made a deadline. I mean, some of my pieces, yes, but no. Okay, so anyways, back to this. So this actually starts another one of these corner motifs right here. I would like to get that corner in just so I know where I can cut it off. I mean, clearly I've left myself plenty of room, which is good because we all know how Kelly is about borders and miscutting things. So I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious of this. But it would be great because if I can get that in, then I've almost got a page finish. And I love that. But I have to admit, I'm probably going to come in here and work even. I don't know. Stay tuned next week when we find out what Kelly actually does. But I am, in order to make the colors not muddy, stitching it X by X rather than row by row. Sometimes I get a crazy hair and I will stitch 2, sometimes even 3 stitches in a row. That's about as far as I go. Because the floss is so highly variegated that if you do more than that, it gets too muddy. That said, I do think I will end up needing the second skein, and I will have still another skein left. So, and I keep it in my lovely bag from Tanya. I always want to say Tanya, and I know in my brain that's wrong. It's Tanya, and she is with Needle and Bones. Love her bags. I love her bag. That was a gift to me from at StitchCon from sitting with her. It's a table game gift. How beautiful is that? Okay. Next up is my American flag from the Vibsters. And I'm doing the extended version because welcome to my flosstube where Kelly doesn't mind taking. If there's an option to make a project bigger, Kelly's going to do it. Because that's just the way my brain works. So I did end up getting that motif in. So I finished this motif and I've started on one that goes right here. So this week I will work on this motif here. What I've also found is usually like I'll take a day, like tomorrow is I apologize for all the coughing. Holy cow. Tomorrow is a day where usually I'll take like I'll work on my the Quaker and that will be my stitch project. Then the next day, like on Tuesday, I'll work on the 4th of July rules. And so I've been rotating kind of that way. I've been trying to catch up on WIPGO because I did fall a little bit behind. Also trying not to stress myself out about it. We are slowly getting caught up. I did work on my Wizard of Oz. I love it. So here's where we're at. Did I get the book done? No. No. Okay. I did get all of her apron in. They're white stitches on cream. They're hard to see. So her dress is basically done. And I do have most of her head in, but not her face. So this week I would really like to finish up her face and hair and maybe even get in her arm. She has one arm. It's from Brooks Books. She has one arm where she's holding a bird and the other arm is holding the basket with Toto. So I would like to, I mean, in a perfect world, I'd like to tell you I'd like to get her all done. And that may be possible depending on the day, but I don't know. But that's where we're at. This is also a Christmas present, ideally, in a perfect world, for one of my other, for our SI in our sign language program, who is a huge Disney, a huge Wizard of Oz fan. Okay. So for a while there, I worked on in the chat. It's huge, but when you're talking and communicating and stitching at the same time, counting gets even harder. And I already have a hard time with counting. So this was also one of my July pulls, one of my WIPGO pulls for July. And so my WIPGO pull for that goes with Henrietta, it was 500 stitches on Bougie Cat. So I have to count. I don't think we're there. I think we're still shy of a couple hundred stitches. I'm going to guess to get the 500 stitches into Bougie Cat, it's going to be like basically his whole bottom, like from the collar down. And I paired that with then the 500 stitches on Henrietta. So we're making progress. And progress is good. My other pull for July is the periodic table. And this is a great one to stitch along with on when you're chatting and talking, because there's not like there's no counting at this point. There's no counting. It's just black lines. So I did get in I think I've got in about 300 stitches so far. So it's really hard to see, but so I've gotten this line down. And then I think I have it turned upside down. Amy, if you're watching me, all this fabric, it's for you, love. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I finished up this whole line here all the way down. And then I'm coming down here because I'll finish this all the way down to the base. And then I'll pull this line across. So we are making headway. For those of you who are curious, again, my fabric is 96 inches by 60 inches. It's 14 count Aida. If you are looking for huge cuts of Aida and you don't mind it being off-white, Rita Renee's on Facebook is your best place to go. 60-inch wide is generally about $8 a yard. If you buy multiple yards, like 4 and 5 yards at a time, she will cut that price. Yeah, totally worth it. Okay. Scissors. Then the last piece that I worked on is for my friend's parents. Well, it's for his mom. It's a picture of his parents. We are now narrowing in on 41% done. This is officially the bottom of the piece. So I did end up cutting off some of it. I got in over 1,100 stitches last night while at the little online retreat. His suit coat jacket is not even finished, and I've already got like 5 different shades in on it. It is insane. But it's crazy to now see his mom's name is Kay, so it's crazy to see Kay's hands and like their hands joining. It's really been fun. So we will continue to plug away on this. Usually what I'm finding is during the week I work on other pieces, like my smaller pieces. And then like on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when I can just sit in and just get chunks of time, it is much easier for me to plug away at that and knock down those numbers. Like I said, we've hit the almost 41%, I think, on that. Yeah, 40.68% done as of today. She's a total of 41,356 stitches, and of that I've stitched 16,822. It will be really nice to see that 50% mark, not gonna lie. A lot of that is the orange ball. So that is what it will look like. So it's kind of neat. I would have never guessed that there's so many different shades in that jacket. It's crazy. So, the 42 strong piece is selling. It's selling really well considering, I have such a small following. I am very grateful to those who have already bought it. I'm trying to see if I have the picture handy, and I don't. But I will pop that link down below as well. I think I'm nearing $50 mark. No, I'm over $50 that I'm donating. My goal really, if I could even donate 100, that would be great. And again, all of the proceeds after Etsy takes their cut will be going to 42 Strong. So if anybody has any ideas on how to maybe spread the word, or can help with that, that would be great. Other than that, I'm trying to think, like, this week, it's really and truly, I have meetings and I have court, and some things going on, but I'm going to be focusing on getting better, and just kind of muddling through. So, I'm not planning on starting, if I start anything new, if I start anything new at this point, um, it will be the 42 strong piece. And it is my intention to start it very soon. I just, I'm a little overwhelmed with some other things too, so it's kind of getting things done. But yeah. So I'm gonna head out because otherwise I feel like I'm just rambling to ramble, and I don't want to do that. I'm tired. I want to go take a nap, honestly, but I have to take my son to work very soon. So with that, remember, you are smart. You are beautiful. You are cherished. You are strong. You are loved. You are needed. You are wanted. And you matter. So with that, I'm saying goodbye. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good week.